Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to go hang out with the mob in the Big Apple. And this game is called Mob Big Apple. Mob Big Apple is a game from Steve Finn of Dr. Finn's Games, but this game is published by TGG Games, and this is a re-implementation of a former game from Steve Finn called Capo de Capi, which is a two-player area control game where each player is taking on the role of a different mob family, and you're trying to control these different locations to steal the contraband. I'm not exactly sure what you steal in the original edition because I've never played that one, but in this one you're trying to hold the fort in these six different locations to corner the market and steal the contraband. Score points. That's effectively the game. I'm not going to beat the theme into the ground. Your mobsters, Prohibition era, all that deal. So let's go down to the table. Check it out. All right, so here's a game of Mob Big Apple, all set up almost for two players. This is only a two-player game, so this is how setup is going to look when you play every time. You know, yeah. So it's going to look like this, but there's going to be, we're going to determine who goes first right now. So when you set up, you're going to give each player a certain number of their henchmen. In this case, it's 20 each. The rest are going to go into a supply. These big ones are just 3. You can make change as you go, but I just have them over here because you're going to put the contraband crates on the appropriate sections of the board. So if it has a 3 value, it gets 3, 2, and 1 accordingly on both sides. Each player is going to get their 6 mole tokens, and on the back they're going to have a number. There's 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 3s. What these are going to do is they're going to effectively be additional people that are going to be in the location at the end of the game if they can stay there. So if they get found out, they could go in and then have a shootout later. But that's how that works. So you'll set those out however you want at the beginning. I just did them random for what we're doing right here. And you're going to have the action board here, which is going to contain the DA track and all the actions that you're going to take. This is the crux of the game that's going to drive a lot of the stuff that's going on in the town board down here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roll these dice. They go 1 to 3. There's 2 instances of each number. Whoever gets the highest number goes first. So blue got 4. Brown gets 4. It's a tie. We'll keep going. 5 for blue. 5 for brown. 5 for blue. 3 for brown. All right, so blue's first. So now, on your turn, you have a couple of things you're going to do. You can roll the dice and then determine if you want to put some henchmen in cars. So what that looks like is there's a little car here. Each car can hold 3 henchmen. You're going to roll the dice, and if I rolled this result, I could put 1 henchman in the white 2 section, or I could put 2 henchmen in the 1 black section in the car. So I'm loading up the car to try to drive to the place to hopefully steal some crates. You don't have to do that, but you can. What you have to do is you have to assign your henchmen to the action board. So if you look at this board, there's 6 different areas. There's this area right here. It's going to have a certain number of henchmen that you can take and maybe a secondary action if you farther you get over. So there's this action that's going to let you move a car. So say I had these 2 guys in cars right here and I wanted to move one. I could take this guy and move him over here and so on and so forth. But you can't ever have more than 3 in a car. Down here you can drive a car to the location. So say I had these 3 guys in the car. I could then drive that car into the location. They're safe from drive-bys, which we'll get to in a minute. Here, I can move to a different car and drive the car in. So if I had that example from before, I could do this, bring this guy over here. They could go up into the location. Over here, I'm going to move one of my moles so I could take this mole and throw it in that location. It's going to possibly make that location stronger, to try to get more of the crates. Over here, I'm going to swap some crates so I can take this crate and move it here. Or if I'm not winning this location, I can take this crate, so on and so forth. And down here, you're going to move the DA track. The DA track is can be like a tug of war, and it's going to resolve at the end of the round. Most of these things are going to resolve at the end of the round, but the DA track, when it gets to your side, you're going to, win that. So that's kind of how that works. All right, and the bonus actions are you can take some crates, sometimes move them into extra locations. You can have a drive-by, which would be if there's some people in cars, and I have the drive-by action. I can roll a die. So I'll pick one of the dice and I can roll it. If I get a 1, all those people would die and they go back to the supply. So it's kind of like a push your luck type deal, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and start playing. So blue is first. and I'm going to take an action. I'm going to go ahead and put some people in cars because that feels like the good thing to do. So I'm going to roll the dice. So I can put 2 henchmen in the 1 white die spot or 1 henchman in the 2 black die spot. So let's do 2 and 1. Let's do 1 and 2. That feels a little better. So we'll go ahead and put that there. And then I have to use henchmen on the board up here to take some kind of action. So let's go ahead. I'm going to move the DA. So let's go ahead and put this here, and I'm going to move the DA 1 toward my opponent. So he's going to get investigated. All right, and that's my turn. This player's going to do the same thing. They're going to go ahead and roll because you got to get some people in cars at the start here. So, ooh, they're going to do that. They're going to put 3 in black 2, which is pretty good. So they'll do that. And then, because they don't want to get in a shootout, they're going to take this guy here. They'll put 2 guys up here. That's going to let them drive the car forward. So they're in the location. And they're going to get to move a crate from outside into a location. And they're going to go to right there. And that's their turn. Back to blue. Let's see. I'm going to try to get some more people in cars. So I could do 3 and 1 white. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'll do that. So put 3 in this car. And then I want to get that person driving as well. So let's go ahead and do 3 here. Drive this car up. And then I'm going to move the DA because that's the secondary action that I can take. All right, back to this player's turn. They'll go ahead and fill up some more cars. 1 and 1. Go ahead and go down here because no one's fighting for that one down there. And then I think I'm going to take this one, and we're going to do a shootout so you can kind of see how, a drive-by so you can see how that works. All right, so I'm going to move a crate from one place to another. I'm going to take the crate from here, and I'm going to put it down to here to make that a little more valuable since I have a guy, possibly. And then we're going to do a shootout or drive-by or whatever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to kill that guy that's in that car. So I'm going to roll the black die. If I roll a 2, that guy's dead. I rolled a 1, so he stays survive. He survives because I'm a terrible shot. And that's their turn. Back to blue. I'm going to try to get some more people in cars. We'll go ahead and load up black 2. No, can't do that. Let's load up white 3 with 2. That sounds good. So we'll do that. And then I'm going to... let's drive them in. So I'll go ahead and go there. And I will drive them in. So I'll drive that guy in, those guys in. All right, done. This player's turn. They're going to go ahead and get some more cars. Let's put 3 in white 1. That sounds fun. So they'll do that. And then they're going to go over here and take this action because they want to move some crates. So I'm winning here, so they're going to move a crate up to here. We can start fighting for it, which will be fun. All right, back to blue. Let's see. I'll get some more cars. Why not? 1-1. Let's go ahead and put 1 here so we can keep fighting. And let's do this one. So I'm going to move cars. Is that 1? Yep. So 1 guy there. I'm going to move cars, so I'm going to move this guy over here, and then I'm going to drive the car forward, which is going to put these guys up in here. And then I get to do a shootout, and I'm going to try to get these 3 guys gone. White 1, so they are toast. They're back in the supply. All right, and that was blue's turn. Back to brown. Let's see. 1 and 2 black. Or 2 and 1 white. Let's try to keep 1 white happening. So let's do that. And they are going to, they're going to do the same thing. So they're going to do this, which will let them move a guy to a car and drive the car forward. So that one's now up there. All right, back to blue. Blue is going to roll 1 and 1. I'll go ahead and start playing down there in the bottom. Put a guy there. Then I want to move some of my moles around. So let's do 2 guys right here, which is going to let me move some of my moles. So I'm going to take this one and put it down there. And then the special action is I get to bring in another crate to a location, and I'm going to put it right there. And that was that. Back to brown. They're going to roll, because even if they don't want to do the car thing, they can still roll and check it out. Yeah, let's load up on this location down here. So we'll put 2 guys in this car. And I have 3 dudes left. Let's make some change, because I only have actions that take 1 or 2, so I'll make some change. And then I'm going to move the DA for 2, which will slide it back this way. And then I get to bring in a crate, and I'm going to bring in a crate right there. Back to blue. I'll roll the dice, see what happens with the cars. 1. Yeah, let's just put 1 in black 2 right there. All right. Then what I want to do. Let's go ahead and swap some crates, which could be fun. I'm going to do that. So we're going to swap some crates with my last 3 guys. So I'm going to take this crate here and move it down here. And then I'm going to move the DA 1, because that's my special bonus action, and that's my turn. I'm out of guys. The round ends when both players are out of henchmen. So all that they can do is they'll have to take this action, so they can't load anybody into cars. So they're going to go ahead and do this up here, and they're going to move one of their moles around, and they're going to put said mole right there. All right, so that's the end of the round. Now let's do what happens next with the DA track and resolve some of the locations, and I'll tell you what happens at the start of the next round. All right, so now that the round is over, we're going to do a couple things. We're going to resolve the DA track. So what happens here is whoever's winning the DA track is going to get the bonus of under the track. So in this case, I'm going to have the opponent reveal one of their moles, and I get to insert a crate. So let's go ahead and throw a crate down here. And then I'm going to have them reveal this one. So they revealed that one, 3. It's out of the game. Then they're going to take 3 people from the supply and put it in that location. All right, and that's that. And I can go back to the middle. Yeah, that's fine. Then what we're going to do is we're going to have a shootout at all the locations. First thing, all the cars are going to drive into the location. So if there's any people that are not at the location yet, they're going to drive in. Then we're going to have a shootout. The way the shootout works is it's effectively going to be 1 guy for 1 guy is going to die. Last man standing is going to, have a foot up into the next round to try to control this territory. These crates don't pay out until the very end of the game. So you're trying to juggle for area control throughout the whole game. So in this instance, we have 5 guys versus 6 guys. So the 5 guys will kill each other, and the 1 brown guy will be left standing as a leg up on this first location. Nobody there to fight, so they're good. Down here, 1 for 1. Do that. And then nobody to fight there, nobody to fight there. That's resolved. So that's the leg up going into the round 2. Now to start the second round, you're going to give each player 20 of the their henchmen, and you're going to keep playing. At the end of round 3, that's the end of the game. The way the game ends, you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to reveal your moles. So all your moles are going to come in, and after the shootout, so after the shootout takes place, if this is what happens, all the moles will come in, and they would add extra people into the location to try to provide extra majority on their side. And then whoever has the most crates at the end, because that's when the crates will get awarded. So if this was the end, this player would have 3. They would get all of these crates. Crates are 1 point. Whoever has the most crates is the winner. That's how you play Mob Big Apple. Let's go to the top, see what I think about it. All right, well, that was Mob Big Apple. I gotta say, I haven't played Capo Capi, but this game is amazing. Spoilers, amazing. So this is a 2-player area control game that has really cool mechanisms. The rolling the dice to determine where and how many henchmen you can put on the board is awesome. So you never know what you're going to get. I could really want to put 3 in one location, but I might get double 1s. I may want to get a certain number in black, but I can't roll that number. That's cool. And the fact that it's an optional action is pretty neat too, because sometimes you may have all your cards full and you can't do that, so you don't do it. The crux of the game though is this action board, which the production on this game is amazing. And I think this is just a prototype that I have, because I think I'll put a link to the Kickstarter in the description so you can see the differences. But I think these are going to actually look like, contraband crates as opposed to just squares with painting. But everything looks amazing. But this board is the crux of the game. You're putting henchmen out to take the different actions that are going to affect the board. So you need to sometimes do the car action so you can get henchmen in the car so you can be able to drive the henchmen to the location. But if they're in the car too long, they take a chance of getting shot and killed because mobs, that's what they do. The DA track is neat too. It's kind of like a tug of war where you're trying to, get him on the other player's side so they can investigate at the end of the game. It's going to give you a super awesome benefit of revealing some moles, which is great, and maybe some free crates. I didn't go over this, but the action, if you get all the way to the end during the round, you get to take a crate from the location and put it into your warehouse, which is a plain point. You don't have to do anything for it other than get the DA sniffing around with your opponent, which is amazing. So this game is great. It's on Kickstarter now. You should go back it. I'll put a link in the description like I said earlier. It's fantastic. If you have Capodecina, this production value, the art is second to none here. These mole tokens are amazing. They're like poker chips. They look awesome. They're just really nice. Everything about this production is amazing. So even if you have Capodecina, go check this one out because it's different enough from what I've seen that it's worth having both. This is BGM accepted all day. I like Dr. Finn's games as a general rule. I have a ton of them, and they kind of hit that like light medium 2-player wheelhouse that I enjoy. I like heavy games, but when I'm playing a 2-player game, I don't want to set up a game for an hour. It's nice to just bust it out and start playing, and he does that better than most. And this game is amazing. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. 8.5 out of 10 on BGG, which is, if I can do some math, 4.25 out of 5 wrenches on our arbitrary wrench scale. It means absolutely nothing. But we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what we do, and that's what I'm doing, because this game is amazing. I love it. It's fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. So good. So that was Mob Big Apple from TGG Games. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.